I don't know why I'm doing this. Maybe it's guilt. Maybe fear. Maybe because I know that I'm next. If you're watching this, you deserve to know what happened. To me. To Nate. To Jesse. To Kyle. It started out so normal. A movie night. Stupid, right? A bunch of guys hanging out, throwing popcorn at the screen, and daring each other not to scream. I mean, how bad could it get? It was Kyle's idea. He was the horror nut of the group. Friday the 13th, The Thing, Hereditary, he'd seen them all, twice. So, when he found this obscure VHS tape at some creepy yard sale, of course, he had to buy it. The Harvest, it was called. Supposedly banned in like 12 countries, Kyle had said with that stupid grin of his, holding the cracked plastic case up like a trophy. The cover was just black, except for the title written in jagged red letters, like claw marks. You up for it, boys? Nate snorted. Sounds lame. Jesse grabbed the tape, flipping it over. No studio? No rating? Dude, this isn't even real. But I didn't say anything. Something about that tape unsettled me, even before we popped it into the player. Still, it was movie night. Tradition. And Kyle wouldn't shut up about it. 8 p.m., Kyle dimmed the lights in his dad's basement. The old CRT TV flickered to life, casting bluish shadows over the walls. The air was thick with the smell of buttered popcorn and Mountain Dew. I swear, if this sucks, you're paying me back for my gas, Nate said, shoving a handful of popcorn into his mouth. It won't, Kyle said, smirking. The screen cut to static. For a moment, none of us said anything. Then, the movie began. It was weird. No intro. No music. Just grainy footage of an empty cornfield. The camera panned slowly, shakily, like whoever was holding it didn't know what they were doing. What the hell is this? Jesse muttered. Shut up, Kyle whispered. The shot lingered too long, uncomfortably long, on the corn, rustling faintly in the wind. Then, a figure appeared in the distance. A man. He stood at the edge of the field, motionless. Nate laughed nervously. Man, this is amateur hour. But I couldn't laugh. Something about the way that man stood. It was like he wasn't human. Like he didn't know how. 9 p.m., the movie got worse. The figure moved closer, step by agonizing step. But the camera never showed his face. Just his outline, a hunched, twisted shadow against the setting sun. Okay, this is stupid, Jesse said. Let's just watch something else. Kyle didn't answer. He was leaning forward, eyes glued to the screen. That's when we heard it. A soft thump. It came from upstairs. Probably your cat, Nate said, though he didn't sound so sure. Kyle, you don't have a cat, do you? Jesse asked. No. We all went silent. Probably the wind, Kyle muttered. But his voice was tight. The thumping grew louder. Closer. It wasn't the wind. 9:30 p.m., the movie kept playing. The figure was closer now. We could see his clothes, tattered, dirty. He was dragging something behind him. Something heavy. That's it, I'm done, Jesse said, standing. Sit down, Kyle snapped. It's just a movie. But then the lights went out. Blackout. Silence. The only light came from the TV, casting flickering shadows that danced across the room. Kyle, what the hell? Nate whispered. It's fine, Kyle said, but he didn't sound fine. Another thump. This time, it wasn't upstairs. It was right outside the basement door. Okay, joke's over, Jesse said, backing toward the corner. Who's messing with us? Not me, Kyle said. Me neither, I added. My voice was shaking. Nate swallowed. So who? It was Jesse. You should have seen your faces, he wheezed, pulling off the filthy jacket he'd been wearing. You son of a, Kyle shoved him. Relax, man. It's just a prank. But I couldn't relax. Not anymore. Because behind Jesse, in the darkness of the open door, I saw something move. Something tall. Something wrong. 10 p.m., we argued for a while. Jesse thought it was hilarious. Kyle didn't. Nate just kept pacing, muttering about how it wasn't funny. I kept glancing at the door. We should leave, I said finally. Kyle snorted. What, because of a dumb prank? No, I said. Because we're not alone. Nobody believed me. Not until we heard the footsteps. Heavy, deliberate. Coming down the stairs. Jesse, if this is another prank, Kyle growled. It's not me, I swear, Jesse said, backing away. The footsteps stopped. We all stared at the doorway. The light from the TV barely reached it, but I could swear I saw something, just for a second. A face. Pale and featureless, like stretched wax. Run, I whispered. 10:15 p.m., chaos. We bolted for the stairs, tripping over each other. Kyle reached the door first, yanking it open, only to freeze. What are you waiting for? Nate shouted. Kyle turned slowly, his face pale. It's in the house. The door slammed shut behind us. The thing was inside. 10:30 p.m., we barricaded ourselves in the basement. Piled furniture against the door. Turned off the TV. But the static didn't stop. It was coming from the tape. What the hell is going on? Jesse cried, pulling at his hair. Kyle didn't answer. He was staring at the TV, his face white as a sheet. The movie was still playing. The figure was inside the house. Nope, nope. I'm out, Nate said, grabbing a chair. He smashed the basement window, clearing the glass with his sleeve. Are you insane? Jesse yelled. We're sitting ducks in here. Nate climbed through the window. Then, we heard him scream. 11 p.m., Nate didn't come back. None of us wanted to go after him. The static grew louder. On the screen, the figure was closer now. Standing in a hallway, just out of frame. Jesse snapped. This is bullshit, he screamed, grabbing the tape and yanking it from the VCR. But the static didn't stop. 11:30 p.m., Kyle was the next to go. 1 second, he was with us. The next, the door burst open, and something yanked him into the darkness. His screams didn't last long. It was just me and Jesse now. We're gonna die, he whispered, rocking back and forth. We're gonna die. I didn't argue. 12 a.m., the TV turned itself back on. The static was deafening. The figure filled the screen now, its face finally visible. It wasn't wax. It was bone. White, glistening bone. Jesse lost it. He charged the TV, screaming, and smashed it with a chair. For a moment, there was silence. Then, the light bulb exploded. I thought I was safe. I thought I escaped. But now, I know it never left me. I feel it. Watching. Waiting. If you're watching this, don't come looking for me. Just don't. No. That's not real. The end of the transcript.